Hey, Michelle Cederberg here with your weekly work-life recharge. Today I'm having a conversation with my good friend, registered dietitian Andrea Holwagner about how to break through nutrition confusion and have healthy fun with food. Andrea.
We have a lot of fun with food. In fact, we've known each other for about a decade.
Over a decade, and over those years we have had conversations with food and wine and chocolate.
All sorts of good stuff.
And the reason why I wanted to have a conversation with Andrea is because she does dub herself the chocoholic nutritionist.
And I'm also married to a wine importer. Life is supposed to be fun when it comes to food.
Right, and you also love bread and pasta.
Carbs are it.
I'm taking advice from this girl. Now, you've been helping people with nutrition for over 17 years with your business, Health Stand Nutrition, and over those years you've coached literally hundreds of people on how to break through confusion. So here's my question. What is your philosophy around food?
This is a big one, but if I was to distill down the essence of what I really try to teach people, it's about eating fully. And how I define eating fully is about eating healthfully and soulfully. One without the other tends to get people into trouble.
So what does that mean, healthfully versus soulfully?
So healthfully is really about that nutrition geek stuff that people expect
Getting
that
enough
a
fruits and
dietitian
vegetables,
should be teaching.
all
You
of that
bet.
kind of stuff.
Protein, veggies, hydration, all that stuff.
Balanced diets. What about the soulfully part? That sounds fun.
But I'm a foodie first and a dietitian second. And so the soulful aspect of eating is really about what makes your soul sing. It's about the foods that we choose for non-nutrition reasons. These are the fun things, the social things. These are where chips and chocolate and beer and wine.
And I'm not hearing birdseed and kale and all of that.
No, because that's the healthful part. You're going to deal with that
part
first, and then you're going to go into making sure there's enough fun and flexibility to live a good life.
See why I wanted to talk to her. Now here's the question I think that a lot of people want to know the answer to. What is the best diet to follow?
Well, first of all, there is no one best diet.
No quick fix,
It
ladies and
has a
gentlemen.
lot to do with your food personality. And how I define your food personality is really, at the end of the day, what is going to make the most sense for you? And so this may sound very basic, but I see people do crazy things all the time. I see people do vegetarian diets that don't like lentils and chickpeas and even vegetables. I also see people follow the paleo diet that are carb junkies and then wonder why they can't stick to that plan.
I heard you say earlier you want to take the die out of diet.
You bet. And I want to take the diet and the die out of dietitian. It's a terrible word to describe yourself. That's why the chocoholic nutritionist tends to resonate
It's
a little better
more.
for me.
Now, if you haven't already watched my Wellness Wake Up Call video, make sure you check the link and do that, because you're going to be able to look through all of the crazy trends and get a little bit more focused on what's important. So how do you know if you're on the right diet?
Well, first of all, the question I would ask you is, what can you actually sustain versus just tolerate? Because
I need to have pasta in my life,
There
Andrea.
you go. At the end of the day, the biggest sustainer is going to trump the biggest changer. And so I see people do all sorts of food trends and change gears a lot, follow the latest and greatest. Come back to the basics of your food personality and really think about, what can I actually live with for life?
So, for instance, if I like to have wine with dinner and I want to lose weight, it's not going to do me any good to cut alcohol out of my life completely. I'm not going to be happy.
No, and the way that I would work with that, or the way that I work with everyone, is really I want you to build in the non-negotiable guilty pleasures that you love first. These are the soulful foods. Figure out what those are and get really clear on what those are. A lot of times people just eat for the sake of eating without really focusing in on what really counts, what they really love.
What really brings you joy?
Put those ones in first and then wrap healthy eating around it. This is the best way to go when we look at sustainability.
So you had said something about when you're on your own, that's when you want to be healthy.
One of the things that has worked well for me always is when we look at that eating fully, the healthful, soulful bit, I try to eat the healthful part when I'm on my own doing my regular breakfast in the morning with my family, when I'm packing a lunch for work, if I'm on the road traveling. If it's just me, I try to make the geeky, nutritious, healthy stuff
It's
there.
a lot easier to do when it's just you.
You bet. Where I like to have a little bit more of the fun, soulful food come into play is when it's Friday night pizza night with my family, when it's Saturday night and I might be out with friends, when I'm at a restaurant. I'm a foodie first, dietitian second. I just want to eat the meal as the chef has prepared it instead of
And just
nitpick.
enjoy every single moment of it.
You bet. And so you can do that if you're really intentional about your choices and really acknowledging that you can eat anything You just can't eat everything.
Did you hear that? You can eat anything. So I can have chocolate, I can have meaty ribs, I can have wine, but I just can't do it all the time.
You bet. So you can eat anything, just not everything. It's all about being intentional about your choices.
And being mindful, I'm thinking.
You bet. You know, somewhere between mindless, complete chaos and never thinking about what you're eating and just going through your day grabbing whatever. And then on the other end of it, being so meticulously obsessive and restrictive in your intake, somewhere between those two worlds is that mindful place of really intuitive eating and really finding that balance between health and soulfulness.
Oh, it sounds so good. And you can watch my mindfulness video. It's video number 31, mindfulness around wine and chocolate, as an add-on to that.
Ooh,
because really,
like
good food is part of a good life. That's what I'm hearing you say.
If you're not enjoying your food, you're on the wrong diet. It's got to be enjoyment first.
So what I'm hearing is, if you could give one piece of advice for people who want to eat healthier, then I'm hearing it's around that.
You bet. You know, you can achieve health without guilt or complexity. It does not have to be fancy. You don't need to be a crazy, awesome Food Network chef. You don't even need to know a lot about healthy eating. You just need to be really intentional about the health part and the soulful part and how to fit that together.
Oh, it sounds so good. Now, if you want more information about how to eat healthfully and soulfully, check out Andrea's website, healthstandnutrition.com. And the most exciting thing about what's new in her world is an online nutrition program available to anybody, no matter where you are, called The Pursuit of Healthiness. Now, you've heard what she's had to say about nutrition. She's going to give you healthful, soulful, fun-filled opportunities to eat healthy and more joyfully. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel via the link. Check out the videos that I've shared. And until next time, I am Michelle Cederberg, helping you transform your work and your life one soulful, healthful bite of food at a time and one recharge at a time. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you for having me, Michelle.
We should go have some wine soon.
Wine, chocolate, something.
All of that.
All that.
Good food and wine.